Welcome to our podcast session. Today we're diving into how tokenization meets Islamic finance in Asia, where countries like Indonesia and Malaysia are shaping a new global financial order.
Yeah, interesting stuff. So, what's the big picture here? How is tokenization rewriting global wealth?
Well, it's kind of like how digital innovations have taken over simple tasks. Tokenization is unpacking traditional instruments like Sukuks, those Sharia-compliant yield-bearing bonds, and making them accessible beyond just institutions.
Right. And Sukuks historically have been a market largely locked for institutional investors, correct?
Exactly. It's like there's over $1 trillion in Sukuk issuances globally, yet due to regulatory and access issues, they remain exclusive. Now, tokenization is democratizing this market.
Yeah, that's a game changer. But then there's the whole regulatory angle. I mean, while licensing is now a baseline requirement, doesn't that also mean it's just the starting gate?
Sure, absolutely. Licensing has become this symbolic minimal threshold, like getting your membership card, but without the secondary markets and robust infrastructure, billions in tokenized assets remain, pretty illiquid.
I see. So, the infrastructure is key. How does this play out in practice, especially here in Asia?
It's all about building what we call compliance by design systems. Basically, platforms must create architectures that support cross-border settlements, ensure interoperability, and make products retail friendly. It's like assembling a puzzle where every piece, from KYC to regulated yield offerings, fits seamlessly together.
Yeah, makes sense. And it seems the local context is crucial, isn't it? I mean, replicating Western models might not cut it.
Right, you're onto something there. It's like trying to use a one-size-fits-all suit. Local tailoring is vital. Successful platforms are those that tune into local economic realities and adapt to on-ground environments instead of
Exactly,
just
that
copying
adaptive
Western
approach is
playbooks.
essential. And what about the point that regulatory clarity alone isn't enough? The article mentions that even with clear licensing, without mature secondary markets, a lot of assets remain locked up.
Yes, that's a critical insight. Regulatory approval gives legitimacy, yet it often becomes, well, merely symbolic if it's not paired with solid infrastructure like cross-border plugins and on-chain products. Think of it as having a shiny new car with no roads built for it.
Right, you need both the vehicle and the highway. There's this interesting bit about platforms needing to own deep infrastructure stacks. How does that differentiate winners in this space?
It's like um, owning the engine rather than just renting one. Platforms that build and control their own infrastructure, from layer 2 chains to advanced compliance engines, can respond nimbly to regulatory changes and capture market expansion much faster.
That's compelling. But some might argue that innovation can thrive even on borrowed infrastructure. Don't you think that isn't a possibility?
True, but I respectfully challenge that point. Borrowed infrastructure may work for short-term projects, but long-term success in tokenized finance requires deep integration and control. It's about reducing friction, ensuring scalability, and building trust with institutional
I
players.
get that. Having full control can really make a difference. Coming back to Islamic finance, the notion here is that tokenized sukuks could unlock tremendous liquidity by lowering capital barriers, right?
Absolutely. It's like opening the vault to a treasure that's been tightly guarded by institutional walls for so long. By tokenizing these sukuks, Asia is inviting a broader pool of retail investors to engage in
Yeah, it's like
Sharia-compliant
democratizing
opportunities.
high value finance. And with major players like Malaysia and Indonesia already steering nearly 47% of the global Sukuk market, there's a big momentum building here.
Exactly, these regions are setting the stage for a significant shift. With capital and innovation flowing, the market is ripe for platforms that can combine robust on-chain systems with trusted distribution channels, like partnerships with banks, telcos, and sovereign funds.
Definitely, that broad integration is key. What about the challenge with identity, custodial services, and establishing standardized audit protocols? Aren't these significant hurdles?
They are indeed. In rapidly evolving markets, these infrastructural gaps can risk turning policy changes into operational fire drills. That's why agility and continual oversight are necessary. The future belongs to those who can anticipate and quickly adapt to
Right,
compliance
staying
evolution.
agile in a changing regulatory landscape is essential. So ultimately, it's clear tokenization, especially of Sukuks, is not just about a technological shift, but a full scale ecosystem transformation.
For sure, it's about creating inclusive, compliant, and composable investment vehicles that make ethical finance accessible. The narrative is shifting from purely ideological ideals to tangible utility. Platforms must bring together seamless user experiences, robust compliance, and adaptability to local contexts to truly lead the next era of global finance.
Absolutely. And as Asia redefines these rules, the world better watch out because the future of finance is being written today.
Yep, it's exciting to see how regulatory clarity will become a competitive edge and how execution through, solid infrastructure and innovative solutions will determine who really leads.
Right on. It sounds like a blend of finance, technology, and local insight that's setting a new world order in action.
Definitely. It's like we're at the crossroads of traditional values and modern tech, a fascinating merger where even ancient principles of Islamic finance are being revitalized by cutting-edge blockchain innovation.
Exactly. What a revolutionary era. All right, so as we wrap up, what's the key takeaway for our listeners?
The key takeaway is that tokenization in Islamic finance, particularly via tokenized Sukuks, is unlocking vast new opportunities. But its success hinges on building resilient, compliant, and locally informed infrastructure that transforms regulatory licensing into genuine market utility.
Yep, that's a neat summary. A brilliant blend of tradition and innovation. Thanks for this engaging discussion on such a dynamic topic.
Thank you. And let's keep an eye on how Asia carves out this new path in global finance. It's bound to shape the way wealth is managed and democratized in the future.
Absolutely.